All right, good morning everybody and welcome back to the Bean Museum. My name is Marin and we're going to be doing discovery reading today. While we're reading our books, you can feel free to comment anything down below, any questions that you have, any comments you want to leave, any ideas that you have for future discovery readings, just let us know. We're open to ideas and different things like that. So, today, we are going to be talking about insects and arachnids, okay? So we're gonna be talking about two different groups. You might just call them all together bugs or creepy crawlies, but really, there are two groups, insects and arachnids. So behind me, I have our lovely butterfly wall full of insects, and then I have an example of an arachnid right here. This is a scorpion. So most of us, when we think of arachnids, we usually think of spiders. That's a really big one that most people think of. So just really quick, let's talk about the difference between insects and arachnids, and then we can hop into our books for today. So the main differences between insects and arachnids is their body structure. So insects have 3 body segments: head, a thorax, and an abdomen. So head, middle, and end. And then they also have 6 legs, okay? This right here, the arachnid, has 2 body segments. So you can kind of see that its whole body right here is all one part. There's not a big, there's not a part where it's like, oh, the head is kind of separate. So this is the head and thorax are one part here, and then we have the whole tail is the abdomen. All right, and then also a big difference is that arachnids have 8 legs and 2 arms. So we can count their legs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. On the other side, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then their claws up front. So that is our arachnid. Now I have a couple of books today. We're gonna start off by reading a super silly book. If you can think of any insects or arachnids, any bugs you can think of, go ahead and comment those down below. I'll see what you guys can come up with, just as a fun little teaser. And as an example of an insect, my favorite insect is the honeybee. So comment what your favorite insect or arachnid is. We're gonna read about some silly creepy crawlies. So some silly insects and arachnids. And this is called Silly Creepy Crawlies. It is by Rosemary Berlin, and it is published by Grosset and Dunlap. All right, so we're gonna take a look here at this book. There are millions of creepy crawly bugs all over the world. Sure, you've heard of ants and dragonflies and bees, but have you ever imagined puppy pillars? They might be a little like caterpillars, except they roll around on the grass and eat leaf-flavored treats. So let's go back to the previous page. Let's point out the insects on this page and the other creatures we can see. So we have a butterfly, that's an insect. We have some bees, those are insects. A ladybug, a bunch of ants, those are all insects. Right here, we have a millipede. So let's take a look at the millipede really quick. Does he have 3 body segments and 6 legs? No, he has a whole bunch of legs, right? So he's not an insect or an arachnid. Let's see what else we have. We have a beetle, a dragonfly. We have another ladybug. Those are all insects. A caterpillar right here. That is the larval stage of an insect. So that's kind of like the baby stage of a butterfly or a moth. And then we have a snail. Is that one an insect or an arachnid? How many legs does a snail have, guys? Does it have 6 legs? Does it have 8 legs? No, so it's not an insect or an arachnid, but it's a pretty cute little creepy crawly. So we've got a lot of different things in this book, not just insects and arachnids. plus all the silly ones that we're gonna come up with, like puppy pillars. They're like caterpillars, but they have little puppy faces, so cute. Let's see what other critters there are in here. Or, have you ever heard of musiquitos? These imaginary bugs are shaped like musical notes, and they make music as they fly through the air. But they don't bite like regular mosquitoes. Instead of making you itch, they make you want to sing. That'd be a pretty fun insect to see in the summer, huh? Instead of mosquitoes that want to bite you, some insects that make you want to sing. Everybody knows about grasshoppers jumping about in our gardens. But what if there were giant street hoppers that could jump right over a highway in a single bound? Look at those street hoppers go. Oh my goodness, they're huge. You ever seen a grasshopper that size, guys? Probably not. Okay. Or perhaps, while we peer at earthworms burrowing underground beneath our feet, somewhere up in the air above us are skyworms flying high. All right, so are worms insects or arachnids, guys? Do they have 6 legs or 8 legs? No, they're also their own group. But look at those silly skyworms. Look at them go with all their little wings. Nobody really likes those big horse flies, but have you ever seen a seahorse fly? They can live in the air or in the ocean. Look at those little seahorse flies. Do you think all these bugs are real? No, they're just silly. Bumblebees look kind of cute and furry, but you don't want to mess with them, and you really don't want to bother their cousins, the grumblebees. While bumblebees say buzz, grumblebees say bah humbug. Look at all those grumpy grumblebees. He's having a rotten day already. Can you imagine what computer bugs might look like? Playing around on your desk when you're not there? Look at all those little computer bugs. Looks like they're playing some kind of game. Naughty, naughty computer bugs. Perhaps late at night, up in the sky, dancing with the fireflies, there are star bugs and moonflies that we've never seen. You guys ever seen fireflies before? They don't really live here in Utah, so you have to go to lots of different other places to find them. I've seen them, I think, once or twice before. They're pretty cool. Or perhaps there are bug parties deep underground where crickets and inchworms play jazz all night long with a piano fly and a tuba bug. We got ourselves our piano fly, and I think this is supposed to be our tuba bug. He's got a horn for a nose, that's for sure. Oh no, there's our tuba bug right there. That's just our trumpet bug, I guess. I bet you've seen ladybugs, but maybe there are gentleman bugs who go with them to elegant midnight balls up in the trees where they waltz to the bug Danube while waiters serve crackers and leaf. There they all are, all dancing. All right. Do any of these bugs really exist? No, but it's fun to think that they do. If you guys could come up with your own kind of creepy crawly, a really silly one, what would you come up with? I really liked the dancing gentleman bugs here. I thought they were pretty cute. Fun fact about ladybugs, even though they have their name, the ladybug, they are both male and female. So they just get their name from the fact that they're cute little bugs with red and black polka dots. The ladybugs, they don't need a gentleman bug to take them to a dance because there's already male ladybugs too. All right, guys, we saw some pretty silly bugs in that book there. And I have some other cool bugs I want to show you, some insects. I already showed you our arachnid, the scorpion. But I want to talk about the different sizes of insects and arachnids, okay? So that scorpion was pretty big. It was about this big, right? And they can get even bigger. We can have like the emperor scorpion, which are about this big, those big shiny black ones. Those ones are really large. And then you can get little tiny scorpions too. And think about the biggest spider you've ever seen and the smallest spider you've ever seen. So they come in a whole range of sizes. And I have a couple examples here. I've got just some various insects in here. Lots of them are different kinds of wasps. Some of them are different kinds of ants. Right here we have an ant right there. That's a pretty big ant, isn't it? Usually when we see ants, they're just teeny, teeny, tiny little guys. But I also have a giant moth. So just for reference, here's my hand. It's bigger than my whole hand. This is called the Atlas moth. Have you ever seen a moth this big before? So even though we don't have any of the silly creepy crawlies that were in that book, the musiquitos and the gentleman bugs and anything like that, the puppy pillars, instead, insects and arachnids are really cool by themselves. We can see all kinds of really awesome insects. Even just looking at their size, you can see the giant Atlas moth, or the teeny, 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 tiny little ants and other things that we see, right? All right, I'm gonna come around, I'm gonna make sure, see if there's any questions or comments about your insects or arachnids. And I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, we're back. We are going to read another book. This one's pretty fun. This is a pop-up book. This one is called Snappy Little Bugs, and it is by Claire Nielsen and Doug Steer, and it's published by Millbook Press. So we're gonna see some fun bugs jump out of the pages here. Ooh, right at the beginning. Okay, what kind of insect do we have here, guys? Butterflies. What a lot of butterflies! See them dive and skitter. They fly around the pretty flowers. Flitter, flitter, flitter. Can make the butterflies fly. Let's see what's on the next page. Snail is slow. So when he's scared, within his shell he'll hide. When the danger has passed him by, he'll slide, slide, slide. So we mentioned that snails aren't insects or arachnids because they don't have any, they don't have the 6 legs or the 8 legs. But what's interesting about a snail is that they have 1 foot. It's called a pseudopod, and it's all underneath here, and it's what helps them to grip onto things and move along, is their little pseudopod, their foot. Ooh! Here is a little squiggly worm. He likes to crawl and wiggle. But if you try to catch him, then he'll wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. There's our worm. Ooh. Ooh. These dragonflies are all so quick. They might give you a start. Watch them flash from here to there. Dart, dart, dart. Look at those cool dragonflies. Caterpillar climbs a tree, but he never falls. Always looking out for food, he crawls, crawls, crawls. So the caterpillar is very, very hungry because he's trying to get enough energy to turn into a butterfly. So he'll go into his cocoon, become a butterfly or a moth. Beetle loves to rush around. She's not slow or subtle, but here she comes. There she goes. Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle. This one's kind of a fun one. Or beetle. Oh, and look, you can even count 1, 2, 3 legs, 4, 5, 6 legs. All right. Spider's feeling hungry now. Her mouth begins to grin. She'll weave a web and catch some flies. Spin, spin, spin. All right, we've got our spider here. Let's see. Is it an arachnid? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legs. It's an arachnid. 3 little ladybugs are playing hide and seek. One pops her head out. Peek, peek, peek. So she's hiding, and then she's there. These pop-up books are fun. All right, okay, we got 2 more pages. The bees are buzzing off to find where all the pollen is. They work all day, then zoom away. Whiz, whiz, whiz. Look at all these little flying bees here. Whee! All right, last one. Let's see what's on it. The grasshoppers just love to jump. Will they ever stop? Leaping through the grass so green. Hop, hop, hop. There are fun little grasshoppers. All right, the end. That was Snappy Little Bugs, our pop-up book. Okay, guys, I have one last little surprise for you. I brought along an insect friend to show you guys. His name is Hector. Come here, buddy. Good boy. Everybody, this is Hector, the Madagascar hissing cockroach. Now they get their name. You want to sit on my hand, bud? Is that comfy enough? Okay. They get their name because these guys, instead of trying to like fly away from predators, things that want to eat them, these guys aren't super good at flying since they don't have any wings, and they're kind of chunky, so they can run for short distances, but not too far. So instead, they will hiss when they're startled. You can see these little black dots on their back right there. This is their abdomen, actually, this whole part right here. From right there to down here, that's their abdomen. And those little black spots are actually the holes that they push air out of to make a hissing sound to startle away larger things that want to eat them. Now let me go ahead and show you, since I can show you on this, this little guy right here pretty easily. This part right here is his thorax. So that's his middle part. And then right here in the front, you can see his little head. So he's got head, thorax, and abdomen. And if we look at his legs, we can see he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs. Now these guys, their legs are actually pretty cool. You might notice they kind of have some like spikes on them. That's what helps him to stay upright. So I can kind of hold him even like this at a 90-degree angle, and he'll stay on my hand because he has those little hooks on his feet that help him to stay there. Hi, buddy. Now you can also see he's waving his antenna at you guys. You give him a little wave back, say, hi, Hector. He's waving his antenna at you guys because he's trying to sense what's around him. So his antennae are covered with little tiny hairs that can feel like the air moving around them, and they can feel things when they brush up against them, and that makes it so they can see, they can feel the world around them, and that makes it easier for them to sense. So he's kind of sensing out right now, seeing where the edge of my hand is so he doesn't walk off of my hand. All right. There he goes. Good boy, Hector. Such a handsome little bug. And if you're wondering, you know, some people think that the Madagascar hissing cockroach is a little bit gross or creepy, but they actually make really good pets. They're pretty easy to keep, and they're fun to have around. Look at that big insect. All right, guys, we're gonna say goodbye to Hector. So can you give him a little hiss goodbye from home? Say hiss goodbye, Hector. Give him a little wave. Bye-bye, buddy. What a good, handsome boy. All right, come here, you. There you go. Okay, back into his home. All right, guys, that's all we have for Discovery Reading today. Thank you guys so much for joining us to talk about bugs and insects and arachnids and all the differences between those things. We are Looking forward to have you back here tomorrow for Life Science Live. And next week we'll be having our programming as well. We'll have Discovery Reading again and some more Life Science Live. So be sure and tune into our Facebook page to look for those. And if you have any questions or comments about the things we talked about today, go ahead and comment them down below and we'll be sure and try and answer any of your questions. So until then, have a lovely day. We'll see you all later. Bye.